All right, we have here our beautiful 9 for reach back. We finished our check-in number 6 on a few different items from our book. This is just a refresher with those same items. We have 9 questions, all related to chapters we've studied. Our first question gives us this and asks us to simplify it. So the opposite of 5 squared minus negative 2 to the exponent of 5. Remember, this is not the same as this, and therefore this is the opposite of 5 squared, or negative 25. And negative 2 to the 5th is negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. It's going to be a negative 32. So notice how the subtraction sign is still a subtraction sign, and the negative sign is still a negative sign because it's an odd exponent. So to solve that, I need to use keep flip change, and my final answer will be a positive 7. 1 point for work, 1 point for the answer. Question 2 says, write as a power and in standard form. So as a power, it's the opposite of 4 cubed. So as a power, that's what it looks like. And its value would be 4, 16, 64, negative 64. 1 point for negative 4 cubed, or the opposite of 4 cubed, and 1 point for negative 64. Your next question is your powers. It says write in standard form. So yeah, the last one was 2 points. So this is 10 squared cubed, which is 10 squared times 10 squared times 10 squared, which is 10 to the exponent of 6, divided by 10 to the power of 4 plus 10. When I use my sign rules or my exponent laws, 10 to the exponent of 6 divided by 10 to the exponent of 4, keep your base and subtract your exponents when dividing, you get 10 squared. 10 squared is 100 plus 10. Your final answer is 110. You can't make that 10 cubed because it's not 10 squared multiplied by 10. It's 10 squared plus 10, in which case it's 100 plus 10, which is 110. 2 points. 1 point for the correct answer of 110, and 1 point for a reasonable amount of work to show that they got the answer correct. Your next question, again, is exponents. Here we have brackets cubed, so 8 take away 10 is negative 2. So when I solve the brackets, that's what I get. That's the B in BEDMAS. When I simplify the exponents hunter, negative 2 cubed is negative 8. And 2 to the exponent of 5 is 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Now that I have my exponents gone in BEDMAS, I have division. So we go negative 8 plus a positive 2. And my final answer is negative 6. 1 point for the work and 1 point for the answer of negative 6. Your next question gets into the addition of polynomials. It says write the equation and solve. So the equation that you should have written for 1 point was this one. And when you solve it, you could actually solve it from the picture. You would have a negative x squared, a positive 2x, and a negative 4 as a solution. 1 point for this, 1 point for the solution. Your next question says draw and solve. So 2x minus 3 will be 1x, 2x, and minus 3. An x squared, a minus 4x, and a plus 1. So when I combine those, it's going to be an x squared. It's going to be a negative 2x, and it's going to be a negative 2. So 1 point for the drawing and 1 point for the solution of x squared minus 2x minus 2. Here we have subtraction, and we know the easiest way to subtract polynomials is to add the opposite. So I'm going to change this to addition, and I'm going to use the opposite of every term in that polynomial. Then I'm going to gather like terms like I normally would. So 10x squared and a positive 3 is 13x squared. A negative 4x and a positive x is negative 3x. A positive 1 and a negative 3 make a negative 2. I guess just your solution is worth 1 point. So 1 point for the answer, and that's it. Just 1 point for that question. Your next question looks tricky, but it's not so bad. If we examine this and we say that's a power to an exponent, exponentially, would that be 2 to the exponent of 5 or 2 to the exponent of 6? It would be 2 to the exponent of 6, because 2 squared multiplied by itself 3 times is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, or 2 to the 6. So when I simplify the first part, I get that. Then I get a power to an exponent again, which is 2 to the 6 times 2 to the 6, which will be equal to 2 to the exponent of 12. So just 1 point for that question, but 2 to the exponent of 12 is what that would be as a power. If they wrote it in standard form, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096. If they have that down too, give them the give that as well. That's the correct answer as well. Either one of these is right. Did anyone write that down? Yeah? Both answers are correct. And your last one, the square root of 1600ths. Remember, square root means what number times itself equals 1600ths. When we think of it that way, 4 would be your numerator and 10 would be your denominator. The answer is 4/10, or if the person is incredibly intelligent, they put 2/5 in lowest terms. If they put decimals and wrote 0.4, sure, because they weren't allowed to calculate it, so they're pretty darn smart. 1 point for that question.